Good. Okay, so an overview, our Wellness Wednesdays, what we wanted to do is provide students with information that will help you be healthy, connected, and to make purposeful choices throughout the year as you're going through your classes and all of the other things that are going on, life disrupted the way that it is. And this is a whole new way of doing things. And so we're providing this for you, but we also want to know what you all need. So today is going to be just sharing information, a really big high-level overview to get your brains going about health and wellness and well-being. And then we will break out into, hi Gabrielle, into sessions, the breakout groups. And we probably have 2 or 3 in each group, and you guys can talk about the questions a little bit more in depth. Okay, and then we'll come back together and really go into some of the stuff that we talked about. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and we will talk. All right, can you guys see all that? Can you see and hear me? Thumbs up. Okay, perfect. Thank you guys. Awesome. Okay. So early in the summer, I was walking with my husband and dog, Declan. You can see them up in this picture over to the left. And we came across this hopscotch drawing, this chalk drawing on the ground. And if you look down, I thought it was pretty creative. They had a corona, a COVID, drawn out, and it said, ew, corona. So we went over that, but then the hopscotch kind of got me, and I thought, you know, I think I can do it. I looked around, made sure that nobody was watching me, because that would have been really scary. And then I hopped. I did the hopscotch, and at the end, I thought, you know, in the midst of all this chaos that has happened, that might happen, to take a moment and just play, do something different, was very freeing for me. And at the end of it, in the midst of chaos, I smiled and really just thought I needed that break. I know that our lives have truly been disrupted this year. And now we're coming back, and a lot of you had things that were disrupted that were really important milestones and events. And now we have to kind of let the old normal go to the past. You guys have heard these normals. Create our new normal and make it a better normal. And so, you know, that is a goal and a purpose. And so I'm hoping that our well-being will learn to be positive and create those better normals. So let me see if I can, there we go. What I found as I continued those walks through the summer, I saw parents running around outside with their children, and you know, dads playing basketball and throwing balls and frisbee. And it was almost like people had taken a pause in all of their distractions and the busyness of life, and it was kind of a nice thing to see. A lot of the life events that you guys have gone through have definitely been put on pause, and you know, we have to come up with new now. So what I'd like to do is just open this up. let you guys take a pause and think about, let's first talk about the guidelines for the conversation today. My hope is that as we talk, you feel like you can be authentic, you can be vulnerable, open. There's going to be an opportunity to be inclusive in all that we say and do, and that we don't hold any judgment to what someone might be saying. So as we proceed through what we're talking about, and especially in our breakout groups today, let's go ahead and keep that in mind. So right now, if you guys could, let's pause and tell me a little bit, let's unmute, tell me some things that happened for you guys this summer when you were put on pause. Anybody want to share?
I've gotten out more to walk and just kind of look around and take everything in. I spend a lot of time at home as it is, so so getting out and trying to be a little bit more active. Unfortunately, when it gets really hot, I'm kind of just want to run in and hide.
Yeah. I've noticed a lot more people are definitely out walking, and I think that's fantastic. This brought something positive. Also the bikes. I've seen a lot of bikes. Thank you, Jesse. Anybody else? And I know.
Just like Jesse, I pretty much been at home. I pretty much spend most of my time at home, but then sometimes I would go out because my brother and sister, they run track, so. And like I see other people at the track just walking around and talking to their friends and their families.
Yeah, good. So you're getting the activity, but also connection. You're seeing the connection of other people. Excellent. Does anybody else can anybody else share?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Hey, Gabrielle. Yeah.
All right. I spent most of my summer, taking my dog out for a walk. I've been working. I've been staying at home, like watching TV and listening to music, and then read like a couple of books. That's what I did because like I don't feel like going out because like what's going on right now. So I decided to stay at home, taking care of myself alongside my family members.
Yes, thank you. Yep, excellent point. Caring for other people through our safe actions. So excellent. Good. All right. Anybody else want to share? We'll move on. Okay. All right. So in the beginning of the summer, ran across a couple of doctors. I don't know if you guys met or saw this, but this was out, made the news. So I was going to share these two doctors with you guys.
No heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us only sky. Imagine all people living for today. You might say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday that you will join us.
All right. The reason I wanted to share that, so this was really in the beginning of a lot of the things that were happening, and they took a minute out of their day. Their day had already started getting crazy with helping COVID patients, and just the chaos and not knowing what was going on. And Dr. Elvis, he wrote, "In life, there are so many things that divide us: religion, race, politics, social status, and many more. Today, a global pandemic brings us all together as one. That we're going to be tested, and we were tested in so many ways this summer. So his words definitely rung true. But there is a human spirit, a good spirit between all of us, and there is nothing," like he wrote, "that shines brighter than that." So the thought of everybody living for today is kind of where I'm going to go with the next few things that we talk about. And wanted to ask, does anybody want to share a way that have you thought about how you live for today? Anybody been able to? No, it's okay. It's okay. So, and you will notice I'm not afraid of silence. So that is part of living for today. For me, living for today is well-being, and that's a lot of what we're going to talk about. Overall well-being, living in the moment, not worrying about what I did yesterday, what happened yesterday, and not being anxious so much about what tomorrow might bring, but reimagining what I can do today to make today better for myself and for the people that are around me, like you guys, Olivia, Koki, Gabrielle, Jesse, and that's all I can see. So, all right, this is me, well-being. I know when we think of well-being, most people think of nutrition, walking, exercise. Well-being is also staying connected, choosing those healthy options, and looking at what the purpose for what we're doing is all about. And so let's talk a little bit about staying connected. Staying connected is really to a higher power, a spiritual connection, to the environment, being cognizant of how we treat the environment around us, and then also connected with other people. For me, I take time every morning to disconnect from a lot of the different things and take some time to have quiet time where I can breathe and write. I do a journal, and then you know, that gets me going for the day and gives me something to set my mind to for the rest of the day. But then we also here have, oh, my picture's gone. I had a picture of our health and wellness team. I'll have to find that and show that to you. Staying connected with the people that we care about. So the people in my life, a lot of us spend a lot of time with our fellow students in the classes that we're in. So developing relationships with other people through, even though it's virtually right now, you can still develop a connection this way. But also the people that you work with, the people that are around you. So staying connected with people is very important. One thing I do want to point out for the health and wellness, we are there. There is somebody available to you. You can call. I know that right now is a time where we are worried about, you know, anxiety over work and school and classes and learning. So I want you to know that we are always available, and the telephone number to Health and Wellness in case you need counseling or anything, I can provide that for you, but it is 704-337-2220. So if you have any questions or concerns about your health and wellness, you feel free to give us a call. So we will jump into a couple of things for self-care. Eating well. So eating well, I love this quote, it's a form of self-respect. So if we think about what we are putting into our bodies, and you know, it's hard when we're distracted and say we're watching a show or something, we can kind of get so distracted we don't even realize that the popcorn that we had in front of us is all gone because we just ate it without even remembering eating it. So eating what you put into your body is important. This is going to be something that we found students asked if we could provide more information about. And so we will do a more in-depth Wellness Wednesday on nutrition and provide some nutrition tips too. So know that that is coming. We have other people as well that will be able to do some presentations. So the next thing is getting out there, and it sounds like everybody here really did get out and maybe added in some exercise. So, you know, anything to get active, to move your body. Even if you're just getting up and walking 10 minutes 3 times a day, that is going to be something that really does, it helps your brain to get away from whatever it was that you were working on, relax and recover, and then you can come back. I have found that so I'm getting my graduate degree, and I found that if I put a question in my mind, and then I go outside and take a walk, and I think about that question while I'm walking, I get ideas and thoughts that come to me, so that when I get back, I can reflect on that and really start writing whatever it was that I thought about. So, you know, exercise is excellent for motivating in other ways than just, you know, losing weight or anything like that. It is a very important way to stay healthy. And then this is sleep. Can you guys see that? Sleep is controversial, especially when we have so much on our plate and so little time we think to do it. But getting at least 7 hours of sleep is so important. Next week, we'll be doing a presentation on sleep that will help you to understand the importance of sleep, what sleep does if you don't get it, including if you get less than 6 hours of sleep and you try to get into a car, drowsy driving, it is as bad as being drunk. So it is definitely important to watch the amount of sleep that you're getting every night. So we'll talk more about that in a future as well. And then finally, I wanted to touch on purpose. You guys are here taking courses and majoring, and you have a purpose. You have something that you are trying to accomplish by being here. And this is so very important. We all have a purpose. It's our why. So I want you to think more about that as you go through this school year. Always remember your why, what you're doing. Be creative with what you're doing. I know when we do something, oftentimes we're afraid of failing at it. And you know what? We will fail at it. This presentation, I've done it a couple of times, and sometimes it goes over well, and sometimes it might not, but that's okay, because, hopefully somebody will take something away from this. And we just keep moving forward. We fail, we get back up, we remember our why, and we move on. That is part of well-being and staying healthy as well. So what I would like to do now is talk about our habits. So this is going to be part of your breakout. The top is chaos, basically. It is just a bunch of choices that we make, and it just turns into chaos. So as you talk in your breakouts, think about some of the habits that you have, some of the habits that you could change. And what this is basically saying is, you could just wake up and do everything however you want to. And one bad habit isn't going to hurt you. But if you do one bad habit and then you do it again and again and again and again, then it's going to accomplish a bunch of bad habits or chaos. But if you make one choice to do something well, a better habit, that can keep accumulating as well. And then you can develop a routine of a good habit. So another thing with this, sometimes the anxiety that we feel can feel like that top picture. Again, I want you to know that if there is any problem that you may be going through, or if you're feeling overly anxious, that number that I gave you earlier for health and wellness, remember that number and give us a call, and we'll talk through some of that chaos with you and help you to come up with some choices and some habits that may help you out. All right. So finally, I do want to point out, we all have our different habits, different things that we do. You saw a lot of some things that I do that I think are important. What I do isn't the end all be all, and it is my recipe of choices. So as you think about things that work for you, try to put them into practice and see how they help you to develop your own well-being. That is going to be your choices. I do want to share with you one other thing before we go to the breakouts. Let me see if I can. So we do an assessment, a survey, and I want to show you, you guys are not alone in how you may be feeling about your well-being. This survey showed us that the factors that are affecting, the things that are affecting academic performance, stress and anxiety are really high. So we understand that and we recognize that. And what I want you to hear from that is that you guys are not alone. Share that. If you hear somebody else that's having any kind of stress and anxiety over what's happening and what they're going through, then talk with them and let them know that there are resources available and that they're not alone. Sleep was a big issue for people too. And so we see this and we do try to put some things together for you guys to know that we see it and that we're trying to help with all of that. All right, so with that, let me get back, sorry guys. These are the breakout reflections that I'd like you guys to talk about in your groups. We're gonna have about 10-15 minutes, and I think we have, so do you guys want to break into two, or you want to just all be in one breakout group? One or two?
I think everybody in one would probably be over two.
That's perfect. All right, excellent. Thanks, Jesse. Okay, so if somebody could go ahead and take a picture of the reflection with your camera, and then you guys can, thank you, Gabrielle. And then I'll break you out into that group. And you guys talk about it, and then we'll come back in about 10 minutes, okay? All right. There you go, and you'll see a little something to bring you back to the room. And it might just take a second to get in there. So.